Welcome, boys. Today's a big day for the Legacy and Cleary. We have started the manual swap. So let's go take a look at what's going on. Oof, ute full of parts. Nice subframe and clutch and throw out bearing and new headers, drive shaft. What's this? Brake slave. Cool. Is that the master? Yeah, cool. And Cleary's been here for a bit. He's already begun. Looks like he's got the auto diff and drive shaft out. Obviously the exhaust is out. Looks like a diff. Fucking what's this? The diff support. And let's have a look. Oh yeah, nice. What's going on, bro? You excited?
Yeah, bro. Welcome to day one of moving at the stinky auto. Making good progress so far. Got the diff out, drive shaft out, all the oils are drained. Just getting the rest of the bell housing bolts off now. We'll unplug all the electrical connections. There is a cooler that helps warm up the gearbox.
Yeah.
Cold, being JDM. I don't know if the Australian models have it, but I know this one does. And yeah, so that's pretty much where we're at for now. Exhaust's off. We should, by the end of today, at least have this gearbox out, which will be mad.
Hell yeah, boy. Yeah, man. Sweet.
So we'll update you when we got to undo the torque converter. So you got your flex plate bolts to the torque converter, then your torque converter sits in the box. So little access port here. So you just got to turn the motor over manually. And you just undo, I think it's like 4 12mm bolts.
Easy.
Like that. Undo that and then the whole box comes out.
Oh, fuck so, yeah.
Man.
Alrighty. Get this bitch back up in the air and do some more undoing.
Yeah. So just got the Legacy back up in the air. At this moment we are looking at getting the rest of the flywheel bolts out. So a bit hard to see, but they're hiding away up in there next to the CV. So we'll get those out. And then hopefully we'll get the gearbox jack and we will look at getting this one out. Got to get the linkage out. Good thing about the Subarus is because they're the same chassis, there's also the 2 bolt holes where I can put the manual bushing in for the shifter. So, man.
We are getting all the bolts off the disgusting auto trans. We just got those 2 ones up there off. And,
just very fiddly.
Yeah, it's just a whole lot of finding the right tools to fit, really.
Ooh, my wifey's here.
Oh my god, it looks like right as hell out there. Oh my god, stinky.
Gang.
Stinky Subaru. Eelies.
It's like loose enough that you can't get enough torque by hand, but the ratchet's still too strong. So it like won't ratchet, but it's hard to get out by finger, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Did you pull up, push down? Just pull towards you.
Ooh, don't fall.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Son.
Don't be walking on the road.
Not right now, huh?
Bye.
Yeah,
ciao, ciao.
I'll talk to you when I can.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hold it. Hold it up. Yeah. It's all good,
Fucking PTSD.
Okay. Bring it down now.
Bro, she's free, let her down. Bring her down, baby!
I'm just
Yeah.
so anxious until this comes on the ground, eh? To where it's the point where it can't fall. Oh. Oh yeah.
Yes. Love it.
Oh god.
Big chunks.
That's so. Oh, that's such a relief. Oh, Filthy Auto is officially out of the legacy. Oh god, it was sketchy for a little bit because it kept like skating around on this. So we ratcheted it down so that it sort of holds it onto the jack stand itself. So yeah, once we did that, we're a lot more confident with being able to get it out. So, whew. Torque converter coming out next, and then
yeah, we'll unbolt the torque converter from the flywheel.
Yep.
And get the torque converter out. Rest of tonight will probably just be cleaning everything up for tomorrow to get ready. I've got clutch and flywheels freshly machined, freshly clean, new throw-up bearing and new pilot bearing. So we'll have to put the pilot bearing in the flywheel.
Sweet.
So we'll get that all in tomorrow. Might look at, if we have enough time tonight, might even try and just poke that diff in.
Yep.
But yeah, so far so good. 3.5, 4 hours worth of actual work. Shift is out.
Yes, it is.
Man,
Nice.
let's do it.
Fuck yeah, dude. Alright, so what we're doing now is we're just going to manually turn over the motor so that we can get to the torque converter bolt through the access hole on the top. So we just crank it from the main pulley on the front and work it around until we get it all off.
Such a fucking angle. Last time there wasn't a different kind of turbo right my way, so I had a small boy. Alright, find me. Oh, you try and turn. You turn. That is ungodly tight. Oh my god.
This is what it's come to. Couldn't get the last one out, so... She eating it?
She is, but she's blind as a hooker, so.
He's off, boys. All the shitty road on there. 2016, and then again in 2018. So when he replaced the engine, and then when he did the head gasket. Nice. Second motor.
Well, that's a wrap for day one. Gearbox out, diff out, drive shafts out. All the manual stuff's all ready to go over there on the ground. Did a bit of cleaning up, got everything off the back of the engine. So yeah, we'll hit it tomorrow and get some shit done.
Yeah, boy. Legacy day 2. Going up on the hoist. Rear diff, manual diff is in, the 4.44 ratio. So that's in and good. Flywheel is on. And new CVs have been picked up. What else?
New pilot bearing.
New pilot bearing.
And we've got in here where the old trans cooler, or trans warmer was. Yum.
Nice.
In the autos, EJ20X heads, I've got, you can blank this off, but being that it did used to run, I really don't want to fuck up any of the coolant flow. So what we did is raided the Toyota spare parts bin.
Where there's plenty of. Thank you, Breps.
And we found a hose, which is a power steering hose. So we'll give it a clean. We've got a T-piece just here. The plan is just to connect that back up to that T-piece.
Let it flow like normal.
Let it flow like normal, and yeah, everybody wins.
Bypass the warmer. Sweet.
Big donkey.
Yeah.
Clean up the drive shaft. Wreck shafts down on the coast, of course, they get a bit of spot rust on them. So we'll clean all that up and then, yeah, hopefully get that all in by the end of today, and then tonight maybe smash into some wiring and finish up a bit tomorrow, and hopefully that's done off to the tuners.
Sweet. Well, we got the 5-speed all up onto the gearbox jack. Just comparing the auto loom to the manual loom, seeing what plugs we can use and what needs to be changed. So what have we got?
So this is your downstream oxygen sensor. So as you say, the sensor takes the same plug, but if we follow it up and we come up to the actual engine harness loom. So this is off the original automatic, and this is the 5-speed manual one. You can see, even though there's still a 4-prong plug, it's quite a bit of difference in the plugs. So even though that fits that oxygen sensor, this wouldn't match up with the existing plugs up there. So this is the kind of things you just have to do your research for and look out for, because most of these sensors will actually bolt in from the automatic. So you can replace these sensors and then they'll just plug straight into that loom, and that way the ECU gets its, you know, I don't know exactly what sensor that is, but you know, it'll go, oh, okay, I've got my oxygen sensor, I've got my speed sensor, I've got my safety neutral sensor. And then there's a lot less that the tuner has to worry about trying to cut in and use other parameters for. So, but no, so far so good. So far so good.
Talking that shit to spec, boy.
Spec, baby. But the only thing I talk to spec is this. The last thing you want that. You just go yeet through the bonnet.
Yeah, no good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, pump her up.
What did you knock it off?
The corner of the hoist.
Yeah, I'm looking at those scales.
Yeah. Because the dowels will pretty much give us that. Okay, I've got one this side. One's a bit of an angle, yeah. Which way would be if we bring this back down? See, I'm on that down there. How are you?
Dowels up here for me.
Wait, hang on.
It's going to rotate that way, so it just comes up.
Hang on. Oh, so the oh yeah, but just the dowels going to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So the dowels all down
So the
there.
whole box is on this side. Twisted, yeah, so.
What if we loosen it up, but have it so it doesn't roll on it?
Yeah, right, we'll bring it down. I'm worried we're binding up on the trans side.
You want to bring it back
Bring it back down a bit. That could be what's giving us some issues. Could be just like
That's why I said it could be too hard on the back end.
Yeah, got a bit more play now.
Boys, she's just about all made it up. I'm real filthy. I had to swap SD cards, and it mustn't have had enough memory on the one that I thought was empty to film us putting it in. And it just, as soon as we started jacking the engine up, obviously we jacked the engine up so that it's not as fucking, not sitting like that. Instead it sort of brought it up so it was easier to mate in. It just slid pretty much straight in. And then we put it in neutral, put the tail shaft in, spun it, and then just pretty much gave it a push and a bit of a wiggle, and it just made it straight in. And yeah, we got none of that, so that sucks. But she's in, just about bolted up, and then put the cross member on for the gearbox and tail shaft into the diff. And then yeah, do all the electrical side of it, and then put on the starter motor. What else?
Then we're clutch pedal, master cylinder, brake pedal, give everything a bleed. I'll jump the starter motor so we can start the car. And if it drives under its own power, we're done. That's it.
Sweet.
To the tuners.
Sweet.
So
Cade.
I'll have to jump because it's an auto, it'll only start in park. And that is also a solenoid that will stick the key in the ignition until you. So it'll have to be, the key has to be in ignition, in park, sorry, to be able to remove it from the ignition. So there's a solenoid that comes on the old shifter assembly that recognises that. So what I'll do is I'll just plug that solenoid back in, because when we pulled it out, it was still in park. So as far as the auto is concerned, it'll be like, I'm in park, you can start the car, you can take the key out of the ignition. And yeah, what we'll have to jump is the starter motor, because it won't have a safety neutral switch. So it won't know if it's in park, or if it's in gear or not. So that'll just be jumping the manual, starter. For now, until it gets down, they can wire that in. But Diversion Garage down in Brizzy will be doing all our wiring for us. But yeah, really cost effective doing all kind of the legwork yourself. Saved me, I think I was quoted $5,000 for the full, like,
Them to take it out, put
and
this
that's
in.
supplying everything. Where we're looking at about $1,100 to $1,200 just for the wiring and tune once it's all done. So real cost effective.
Sweet.
Pays to know somebody with a hoist, eh?
Yeah, it does. Thank you, Papa Dulu.
Papa Dooley back at it again.
5-speed is in. The shifter linkage is all bolted up as well. Polyurethane shifter mount at the back there. And I think Cleary's just getting the cross member.
little cross member.
Yeah, boy.
So we will take the jack
Little baby.
off.
Gonna jack me off, bro.
Gonna jack you off, bro. It's not 1000% dry, but yeah, bro, it's not dry.
I think it's a bit too cold outside to dry fast.
That's all good. Yeah, we'll take the gearbox jack off and then we'll bolt this baby up.
Yep.
Thanks to Mr. Oon, he actually's got a brand new white line.
Yeah, I did see
Mounted
that.
in it, so that's tough. So that'll help stiffen everything right up. So it's polyurethane bushings throughout the whole car now, which is awesome. So I'll stiffen everything up. But yeah, we'll get this on. Good thing is they all have all the factory threaded holes ready to go.
Yep.
So, because the autos only use these ones here. Mm-hmm. So now instead of using the 3 to hold the back of the auto, because the autos come to about here, they're massive. We're actually got to utilise up here for the engine mount. So.
Perfect. All right, well, let's get this out and get that in.
Oh. You had all those. Where'd you put all those bolts that you gave me from the cross member that were in the console of your car? Were they in the console of my car? I think they're in the console of the Legacy. I think they're up in there. I don't know that's not in there. Oh, I thought I was going to be lucky enough to just like reach up into the console.
Alright, let's get up there, I suppose, and have a look. Okay, we sort of run into the first hiccup with the swap. The back end of the gearbox mount doesn't actually mate up to any of the holes. It comes to about here, where you can see we're about from the furthest point, a good 4 inches away from the furthermost bolt. Front one's the same though, but yeah, we're gonna get the tail shaft in and we'll try and sort this out tomorrow or something. But yeah, so far aside from that, all good.
Man.
Weird.
Yeah, weird indeed. I think I'd say it's because the auto comes back so much further.
Yeah.
So the factory mount here essentially would be taking the end of that auto, where here it doesn't need to because the end of the manual's right there, which is pretty much where that mount is. So
Yeah.
we might be able to, we might just weld a bit of plate in there just to reinforce that and call it a day.
Yeah, I don't think it'll need
A
any.
bit of fabrication doesn't hurt, so, especially when you're putting shit in Rexy cars. It's been a pretty straightforward swap so far. Two is because the auto mount is so much bigger to accommodate for the auto back here. We can't utilise this. We've got the main mount there, but I'm thinking worst case is we might have to cut this and just weld a bit of plate there just to reinforce the end of that. Or we can just use that, I really don't care. I don't think it's gonna, if anything, it'll just protect the back of the box
Well,
there.
I just put that one up and I'll just draw a piece of metal to reach this cut.
Well,
You can put 2 bolts in that. Doesn't have to have it there. Because that's just gonna be all the way to
When in doubt, custom fab. Yep, cut it, put it in place, and gonna fab it up and make a bracket. And
being
it should
a
be.
JDM model, because it's actually a Legacy, not a Liberty, it might have a slightly different,
Bolt holes.
yeah, bolt holes.
tighten the bolts.
Hold the shit out of it.
Yep. Alright, so here's what Papa Dooley's custom fabrication has come up with. So pretty much cut and shut everything, custom bracket here, MIG welded it all together and yeah, use the factory holes, and now that 5-speed is nice and secure in there, not going anywhere.
So we managed to make a hybrid between a manual cross member and the automatic cross member and put it together to fit a chassis this gearbox was never meant to go into, so that's awesome.
Hell yeah, looking very, very good. Nice and snug. Both the CVs are in now as well. We're just going to put the exhaust on, and that'll be it for tonight, I think. And then,
Tomorrow will be clutch pedal install, slave cylinder, brake pedal, and if we're lucky,
clutch pedal.
And if we're lucky, maybe a starter.
Yeah, fingers crossed for that. Alright, let's get this exhaust on and go home. Alright, we are done for the night. Exhaust is back on. Gearbox in, bracket on, CV's in. Very productive day today. That's all for tonight, and we'll pick it up again tomorrow and try and finish it off. So, solid effort over the last 2 days. Legacy day 3. So we just took the car up on the hoist and did a check underneath everything. Make sure it's all bolted up. Looking good. Now we're just bolting the hubs back up to the coilovers and adjusting some suspension, doing the camber bolts, making sure everything's tight, and then we'll put in the clutch, master and slave, and start rerouting some wires that were through that grommet back when it was auto, because now it is officially manual, so it's exciting. Got a shifty boy in here. Bit hard to see, but yeah, shifty boy, nice and tight and short shifter as well, which is sweet. So yeah, just sort of finishing up everything now, and then hopefully everything engages correctly. So yeah,
Start her up and hopefully the clutch doesn't make any funky noises.
or ejecto out the bonnet.
Yeah, otherwise we're back to the drawing board.
Be back to a fucking rebuild board at that point. So the brake slave is going on, and get that all bolted up, and then bleed it out, digging deeper, just throw it away. And what's all this shit here?
That's wiring. So we got to actually
I see that.
trace. We got to trace out of all these. This loom here that's just a clusterfuck.
That looks scary.
We've got to trace which ones are our reverse lights and park safety switch. So there'll be 2 wires that'll turn out our reverse lights, and then there'll be 2 wires that should be essentially sending a neutral signal to the manual. The neutral signal sent from the manual to the auto ECU to trigger it to think it's in park. So,
That's what lets you get your key out of the car.
Yeah, let's key out the ignition and things like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to get all the hardwired stuff done, the clutch and stuff in. Then we'll grab the laptop out and look at some pinouts and stuff, and we'll trace back this wiring, and then whatever we don't need, we'll wrap up and tuck away. So that's just the factory loom that would have run down into the auto transmission, but I've just cut the wires right down there. Yeah.
Fuck manuals. Oh, fuck.
Fuck manuals, bro. Yeah, fuck manuals.
Fuck manuals.
Fuck manuals, bro. Let's go put the auto back in. What are we doing?
Oh my god, bro.
So yeah, we'll do that, and that's probably going to be the hardest, most sticky part of all this. But yeah, hopefully we can get a startup today. I'd love to get it. If we can get it to move under its own power, man, that is job done. So send it away and let the tuners do the rest of it.
Sick.
Yes, so just about finished now. Just about to put the master cylinder in for the clutch pedal. As you can see, we have 3 pedals now, so that's exciting. So what we'll do is we'll get the cylinder in, bleed the clutch, and then we might have a go at trying to start the car, just to see, because not many sensors that are needed, and I replaced the clutch plug. There was a plug for the brake pedal, so the existing brake pedal was only a 2-wire. This one is a 4-wire for the manual pedal. So there was a plug already in there waiting for it, so I'll plug that in. Do the same thing with the clutch pedal. There's a pedal there ready to go. So if I'm right, once we ground out the identification pin on the ECU, it might actually switch over and use those plugs instead. So if it's getting a clutch input and a brake input, it might actually start.
Ooh, exciting.
That's exciting. So we'll get this in and give you an update from there.
And coming in your sweet little hole.
Alright, so
Oh my god.
to the left a little bit. No, right a little bit. Yeah, forward up. Forward.
Not even through the studs yet. Oh,
That's where you go.
that's as far as I can go.
Okay. Back out a little bit. Up forward a bit. There's okay. Back out a little bit.
Oh my god. Oh yeah. I think he's about to start the legacy. See if the legacy starts. No way. Oh, no way. Oh, fuck. No way. That's sick. Yes! Yes! Oh! Shit! Leaving 10 gears! Oh, you would have put it in reverse! Yes! That's so dope! Oh my god! Oh, it's manual! Oh, yes! No way! Yeah, yeah, boy! That's so sick!